What if I told you that the American dream is dead? There's absolutely no way that you could ever achieve that again. Would you continue doing the same things that you're doing right now? I'm Ryan Miller, a coach working with high-performing executives, entrepreneurs, and salespeople. And oftentimes people are asking me how they get to a place where they no longer have to work as hard as they do. We're thinking along the lines of retirement. We're thinking along the lines of freedom. You know, when I grew up, and I'm probably a lot older than a lot of people that are watching this right now, when I grew up, the idea of the American dream was to have a house in a nice suburban community with a white picket fence and a spouse and a couple of kids and driving a couple of nice cars, and maybe you're sending your kids to private school and you've got some money to spend and you just get to go on your merry way. Why is that dead? It's dead because we have created a society that is not willing to stop and enjoy the things that we have anymore. So we have to reframe our thinking. If you want to retire early, if you want to live out a dream, you need to think about what that dream truly is for you. Because your dream and my dream are gonna be two completely different things. Now, we're both gonna agree that at some point in our lives, we wanna stop working. At least we wanna stop working hard. We don't wanna have to continue to push. We don't wanna have to continue to grind. Maybe you don't wanna have to continue to get in the car, drive down the freeway, sit in traffic, and work for somebody else and listen to them whine and cry to you every single day about all the things that you're not doing to line their pockets. Ultimately, we're trying to get to a place where we no longer have to be enslaved to do things that we don't want to do. That's what it means to retire today. At least that's what I believe it means to retire today. It means that we begin to define and live out the freedom that we desire. So what would that be for you? You have to think about a couple of things. What is life going to look like? What is it that you're ultimately trying to achieve when you think about retiring? When you think about living out your dream, what does that mean? What would life feel like? Are you married? Do you have kids? You know, even those things, and just a side note to that, those aren't the ultimate things for everybody anymore, and that's okay. You need to hear from somebody maybe like me tell you that you need to define your joy and you need to define your happiness. And maybe a spouse and kids aren't it for you, and that's okay. If you're there already, you better learn to enjoy them. But if you're not there, don't make that the end all be all, because it may not be that for you. Beyond that, you do want to think about where you're living. Do you want to live in an area where you're continuing to go every single day? Or do you want to live out in the country somewhere with a lake that you can go jump into and take a couple of laps? That sounds pretty good if you ask me. We have to think about the type of cars that we want to drive and why we want to drive those type of cars. Do we want vehicles that we can go up into the mountains and enjoy some time off-roading? Do we want a fast car to drive around the neighborhood? What is it for us? When you decide to go on vacation, where do you want to go? And who do you want to take with you? What types of things do you want to enjoy when you get to that place in your life? And how are all those things going to make you feel? Are you going to feel a sense of pride because you finally accomplished the things that you have so long desired for? Hopefully, by the way, you're not trying to get to a place in life where you can finally look at everybody else and say, I have more than you, that I've gotten farther than you. Because again, that's why the dream has died. We're chasing other people's dreams. We're trying to accomplish things because other people have told us we have to get there. That's not what it's all about. What it's all about is what's for you, what makes you happy, what fulfills you. So again, how's it going to make you feel to get to a place in life where you no longer are enslaved to the things that you don't want to be enslaved to anymore? And as a matter of fact, hopefully you're going to chase a place in life, a time in life when you're no longer enslaved to anything. You've created an environment where you can live with the people that you want, you can do the things that you want, and you can come and go whenever you want. To me, that's what it means to ultimately live out the American dream. That's what it means to retire. I'm never gonna stop working. I'm always gonna find things to do with my hands. I'm always gonna find ways to invest into people and into places and other things that I enjoy. So again, it's not about not working. It's about doing so on my terms. So the great question now is, how do you actually accomplish this? I'm going to give you 3 easy steps, maybe not so much easy, but 3 steps that you can use to begin to understand what it means to pursue a life of freedom. Number 1 is you have to lay a foundation. This could be something that you have done before, but probably more in an organization. I want you to think about what's most important to you. What's your purpose in life? What are you most passionate about? And what are your most important principles? What are the things that are non-negotiable to you that you will not cross a line for? These are the things that we want to think about. Once you've spent some time laying that foundation for yourself and understanding who you are, then the second thing that I want you to do is I want you to think about the goals that you're currently in pursuit of. So I want you to write those things down. And what I want you to do is I want you to think about why you are in pursuit of the goals that you are. What is it that you're actually attempting to accomplish when you say that you want to earn X number of dollars a year, or you want to get to a specific position in an organization, or you want to get into shape? Why do you want to achieve the goals that you currently have laid out for yourself right now? All right, and number 3, I want you to begin casting a vision for the future. What does that mean? Well, Stephen Covey says you have to begin with the end in mind. How can you walk down a path if you don't know where that path is going to lead you to? So, as I alluded to earlier, I want you to think about what the future should look like for you. If you're 30, what does 40 look like? If you're 40, what does 50 look like? And if you're 50, what does 60 look like? Who are you living around? What types of things are you doing on a regular basis? What does your bank account look like? What are vacations to you? What kind of cars do you drive? Again, I want to think about what the future looks like so I can begin to shape a life that moves me in that direction. That will require good habits, disciplines, and obviously a clear path to get there. But you have to think about that vision for the future first. So again, foundations, the desire around your habits, and ultimately the freedom that you're trying to achieve in the future.